Morning, brothers and sisters. Kind of chilly this morning down here on the Chattahoochee. I'll get out here in a minute. See how that little tributary is coming up off of the old cotton mill they tore down. They built a hop there to harness the water back in the latter part of last century probably. Anyway, there comes the main body. There's the main body of the river right out there. Going by. Lots of good fishing out there. Anyway, just thought I'd come out here and make this little video, show you where I live. We'll get out here in a minute and get a little closer to it. But for sound quality right now, I'll just try to take some pictures of it. Might even show you myself just for a second here. Oop. Anyway, today I was going to talk about the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast. I don't know if I've been noticing online, a lot of people have been talking about it. They wasn't going to have it. They wasn't going to take it. You know, they think that... Well, here, I'll just put it right out there. Start with, I believe that the mark of the beast is in our past. The mark of the beast is in our past. Pull up here so I can get a little bit better picture. There you go. That tree's in my way. There you go. Well, there's some people down there walking the dog. The mark of the beast is in our past. Why do I believe that? Well, over in Revelation, at the start of Revelation, it says the time is at hand. Must shortly come to pass. Language like that. I believe the audience there was not, 2,000 years later. I believe the things that you read in Revelation are, for the most part, except for a few parts there, are in our past. So whatever it is that people are talking about not taking the mark of the beast, whatever they think it might be here coming up on us, I don't believe it to be so. I believe it to be in our past, brothers and sisters. It was speaking to, not that the book of Revelation can't be a prophet to us, but that it is already taken place in the first century. Whatever that supposed mark was, it's, I'm not going to get into any theological debate about what it is and who it is. I'm just going to say that I believe that it's in our past. That's not something we should worry about, whatever it is that the future holds for us to, coming up. So we don't have to worry about this mark of the beast. I'm not going to take it. I hear people saying, I'm not going to take it, because they believe that, of course, that in itself is if you believe what they're saying, then something you do has something to do with your salvation. Not doing something, not the will of man. I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to take this mark because I'll lose my salvation. No, That's impossible. We're being kept by God. He's keeping us. We're not keeping him. So that would be us keeping him. Besides that, oh, there's some people over there. It's wonderful to see people enjoying nature. Enjoying nature. This is that little tributary coming out. It's really an island, I guess. There's turtles all out in there sometime. Coming out up there, out of that old generating house from back in the Civil War days. But anyway, where was I at on that? Oh yeah, we were talking about the mark of the beast. Well, see, that in itself could be a work, say, not receiving the mark, say something of your will, nor of the will of man. So that's that's where that doesn't come into play in my view down here in Alabama. Of course, you'll notice at the back of the book it says the same thing. It says, let me look this up real quick. Okay, I was going to read to you why in Revelation it says, and he said unto me, seal not the sayings of this prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. Right here at the end of Revelation. In other words, don't seal it up because something's fixing to happen. So, brothers and sisters, whatever we read all the way through there, except for a few places in there where it's talking about the consummation of all things, the book of Revelation was written to the people that were fixing to experience something very traumatic, something very apocalyptic that is in our past, brothers and sisters. Not want to get too deep into everything because, nobody ever figures, you end up getting in an argument. But it says the time is at hand, and then it says come quickly. Behold, come quickly. So all this kind of timing language, brothers and sisters, means something. You can't just ignore that. So in my view, just want to make everybody feel better. Whatever's coming on our earth, in this country, is not the mark of the beast in this portion of the view. And I noticed that people were coming out and saying a lot about it. Also, it says in the first part of Revelation, it said, must shortly come to pass. These are timing texts, say. Must shortly come to pass. That's Revelation 1. Then here it is again, for the time is at hand, over there in verse 3, the time is at hand. So, brothers and sisters, these things were written to a first century audience of believers that were fixing to go through something very traumatic. And John recorded it for us. Wonderful book. And it's profitable. I do believe. And of course, this fits in with over there in 24th chapter Matthew, where it says, this generation shall not pass till these things be fulfilled. So this was a time of great tribulation. It came upon, in my view, the first century believers in Christ, his people, preparing them for something very apocalyptic. What we know as, these are the days of vengeance. You check into some of my other videos. So I believe this thing is, I noticed online that they were talking about, they weren't gonna take no mark and all this kind of stuff, which puts it over into the will of man, the court of the will of man. Well, I'm just not gonna have this. I tell you what, you don't know what you're gonna do, brothers and sisters. You don't know what you're gonna do when you're faced with torture. I'd hate to my salvation be hanging on somebody go to pulling my fingernails out. The earth's gonna be a ball all day long, and on Sunday too. So you don't know. Nor of the will of man. Brother, our will is very, very shaky. So he's not keeping us. I mean, he's keeping us. We're not keeping him. And that's what this little deception goes into. I'm not going to receive that mark. Well, in my view, the thing's already taken place, whatever it was that it was. I'm not going to try to explain to everybody what it was, because I'm not sure myself. But it's taken place. It took place in the 1st century, brother and sister. And this poor sinner's view down here in Alabama. And he said, what's it at the very back of the book? He says, the time is at hand. Front of the book, the time is at hand, must shortly come to pass. So whatever it was in between there, except for, I don't like to expound too much on this thing, but if I had to guess, what part of Revelation hasn't occurred yet, I would say that I'll just put that out there. Y'all check it out for yourself. Believe what you want to believe. This is just a video. What I feel it to be true. I would say that we're in the period now of Satan being loose for a short season, going out to deceive the whole world, and even God's people, are being deceived. But that doesn't mean it's because of that it's going to be like this great tribulation that Jesus talked about. It wouldn't be like that from ever again. It wouldn't ever be like that again, is what he said. So that's what I'm saying. I'll walk out here and get a good picture of this. Get a good picture of the lake here and the surroundings. Real beautiful place right down here on the river. Now, this goes on down to the lake. This flows on down. But that's what I'm seeing today. Now, brothers and sisters, you can rest easy. Don't let the news bother you, because there's nothing bad going to happen any worse than the Great Tribulation, which is in our past. Don't have to worry about standing up to the mark of the beast. You don't know what you do. Like I said, somebody put fire to my feet, no telling what we'd say. We'd even tell them that the earth was a ball, probably, if they wanted to hear it. So I don't believe that's going to be the situation. Like I say, he's keeping us. We're kept by the power of God. It says over there in, I think, 1 Peter. I hope that's what it says. Y'all check it out. Kept by the power of God. We're not keeping him, he's keeping us. Besides that, it's a family. We are one of his family. Some of us are living in the pig pen, but we're still his. That's why we should love our enemy. Anyway, I just thought I could check in with everybody, let them see the river. It's freezing cold this morning. And like I say, the mark of the beast is in our past, in this poor sinner's view down here in Alabama. Peace and love, Miss Old Boy down here in Alabama.